Hi guys, just FPL here, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll be talking you guys through my Gw3 team selection, how did I do in Gw2, and my transfer plans going into Gw3 and ahead for the future game. So lots to talk about, let's jump into the video. So the first thing is my points for game week 2. I did score a total of 67 points, which to be fair, I'm really happy with. It puts me in the rank around the top 1 mil, and it's really close up there. You know, 1 point it could swing your massive rank, 1 point could take you a long way. So really happy with my team. A lot of surprising results in game week 2 and a lot of unexpected things happen. So starting off with my Arsenal players, Ramsdale 1 point, Martinelli and Jesus. Arsenal did go on and win Leicester 4-2, and Jesus, being the player he is, he did get 2 goals and 2 assists, which is really good. 3 bonus points, and he did get subbed off early, but it is reasonable because they were quite ahead and they were controlling the game, so nothing much to do there. Martinelli really consistent with his points, another goal against Leicester and picking up 1 bonus points as well, playing the full 90. It looks really good with his minutes, but when European League football comes into play, we could see a bit of rotation there. Ramsdale in goal, very disappointing for Arsenal. You know, Leicester, a team that is very attacking, a very good attack, and I didn't really expect much for Ramsdale, but I was expecting at least 2 points. They did concede 2 goals, which was kind of shocking, and I expected some save points as well, but of course, I will take the 1 point. It's better than nothing, and I really expected, Arsenal to keep at least 1 clean sheet in the first 2. They are tough fixtures. They played Crystal Palace and Leicester. Didn't expect much from the first 2, but then coming to game week 3 where they had that brilliant run, I was expecting more. So it was quite good to see Ramsdale get 1 clean sheet out of the first 2. Of course, the first 2 games were the tougher games, so I would take at least 1 clean sheet. Moving on to my Liverpool players, Liverpool did draw at Anfield against Crystal Palace. Now, Trent getting the 90 minutes and getting 1 bonus points. He played well. To be fair, Liverpool did play really well. You know, we will see these surprising results come a few times this season, and it's just when they will come. It was usually last season, it came around the European football mark, but this season, it was a bit of a surprising one. And we saw, Liverpool drew their first game, drew their second game. It was not expected. We expected the Liverpool had a strong start to the season, but of course, they are still one of the best teams in the league, and I fully believe they will come back stronger. They are the top 2 teams. Them and City, for me, they are still the best teams, and results like these will happen. And I'm not really angry, not really disappointed with the Liverpool players. They played well, they controlled the game, they had their chances, but they couldn't take their chances. Of course, Darwin Núñez did get his red card, so you could say that it affected them throughout the end of the game. Robertson, 2 points. He was picking up some very attacking positions further up the pitch, so I'm still happy with what he managed to produce. Mohamed Salah, very disappointing for the Liverpool's attack. Of course, Darwin Núñez did miss a lot of chances, and Luis Diaz did get that goal. Now, I will talk about more of my transfer plans about switching for my 3rd Liverpool option, but for now, I'm happy with them. And Salah, he's one of the best players in FPL, and we have to back him. He will get his blanks, but he will also get his hauls. Next, we have our City players, which is Cancelo and Haaland. 10 points from Haaland, 11 points from Cancelo. Again, I spoke about Cancelo being one of the better options for captaincy, but I was too I was too scared to captain Cancelo because of if Haaland was captained by a lot of the game. So I went for Haaland, but Cancelo ended up with more points, 11 points, a brilliant performance from Man City again, picking up the clean sheet, Cancelo getting his bonus points and also getting assists. So a really good performance for Manchester City and for Cancelo. Haaland, a bit disappointing, and he got the assist, and it did show what he was capable of, using his strength, holding the ball and playing it back to Gundogan. But of course, I did saw a stat saying that he did only complete 2 passes throughout the game, and one of them was the kickoff game pass. So a bit disappointing to see those stats, but of course, he will have his downs, he will have his good performances, he will have his poor performances. And for me, Haaland is a no-brainer. He is still one of the best players. His stats look mental, and he did have some chances. So I'm happy with the City players and would look to triple up on them as they look really good. Reece James, he did get his goal against Tottenham, and he did get his bonus points as well. So it was a bit of a mental game, He did get a -1 for goals conceded, or -1 for yellow card. So he did get his goal, and he did start the game at right centre back, and that was mainly to the fact that to stop Heung-min Son, because if you played Gw3 there, his pace wouldn't be enough. So then throughout the game, when he changed to right wing back, he did get his goal, and that just shows how crucial Chelsea's right wing backs are. And I will talk about more about doubling up on Chelsea. But if James is playing right wing back against Leeds United next game week, I really look forward to that game because he could feast in that game. Liam Bailly and Neto in my midfield, 3 points at 1 point. Bailly disappointing, he didn't start. What Steven Gerrard was saying in the press conference, we looked forward to him starting, but of course he didn't start. Danny Ings, he did get his goal, so that just really just knocks out Bailly's spot in the team, with Danny Ings playing well with Ollie Watkins and pulling off a really good goal. It just just shows that Steven Gerrard won't look to change. If you win a game, you won't look to make changes. And then Neto, he did had a really good opportunity to score, and it was really disappointing to see Neto not score in that game. He did get a really good chance to score. It was an open goal. You could say he took another touch, and it was a bit too heavy. So it wasn't that easy as you expected. It wasn't that easy to score that goal, but of course you have to be taking your chances, and we have to be a bit patient with the players like these, but we have to see how long we hold on to them. Moving on to the bench, Ward, he did play. Of course, Leicester, poor defense, 4 goals conceded. Perisic, 4 points. I'll take it. He did come on, and he switched. He subbed Heung-min Son. He made the change with Heung-min Son, and it was, of course, Tottenham was chasing the game, and he did get his assist from corners. But when he was playing, he did look really well, making crosses, and he looks really well. So I'll talk more about him later. Andres Pereira, 3 points. Fulham missed the penalty, but got the clean sheet point. Archer didn't play at all. So overall, happy with game week 2, and let's look ahead to game week 3. So game week 3 is here, and it's very close to the deadline as I'm recording this video. I did take a break for 2 to 3 days. So let's start off with our goalkeeper, which is Aaron Ramsdale. He comes in playing Bournemouth away. No changes to me. I won't waste the transfer on the keeper. No plans to sell him, because for me the keeper spot is really a waste of transfer unless your team is so good that you have to use the transfer. I'm really happy with Aaron Ramsdale, and going to this great run of fixtures where we all targeted in game week 1, Bournemouth, Fulham, Aston Villa, United, Everton and Brentford. Until game week 8 or 9, we plan to hold on to our keeper, because I do plan to wildcard there around that mark. Great fixtures, fully expect the clean sheet against Bournemouth. I will take save points, I will take bonus points. So really happy with Ramsdale, why he's managed to give me clean sheets, and fully expect another clean sheet against Bournemouth. Next, we do have Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he plays Man United. Man United, one of the poorer teams this season. They did lose their opening 2 games, and it's really disappointing for me as a United fan to see United lose, and I fully expect Liverpool to better us at home. Now, if it wasn't at home and it was playing at Anfield, I would say Liverpool would have a better chance of bettering us, but just because of the fact we are playing at Old Trafford, it will be a tough game. But Liverpool, Man United fans look to protest in the game, and that says if Liverpool score first, the fans will be behind them, and the players will know themselves, and it will just go downhill for them. So if Liverpool get an early goal, we could see a 4-5-0 victory. And I also expect a clean sheet for Liverpool, because United, lacking Anthony Martial, Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't look that good. Currently, I fully expect a clean sheet, a well-organized Liverpool side playing to be fair, not even organized United side. Their mentality, the dressing room is just going downhill for United. So I expect a Liverpool win, and I do expect a Trent Alexander clean sheet and some attacking returns. Now we're going to be doubling up with the Liverpool defense with Robertson. Now they play Man United away, and again it's a good fixture to target, as of course United are one of the poorer defense in the league. We did see that against their first 2 games. They did go on and lose to Brighton and Brentford. So very disappointing results, and I fully expect Liverpool to go on and better United. And Robertson, no plans to sell him. There is a talk about making a move to Diaz, but that was a 50-50 call in game week 1. I had to make, and a lot of managers had to make, and currently it's not looking good, and we are on the downside of the 50-50 call, because Robertson did score lesser points. He only scored 3 points throughout the season, and Diaz did get his goal against Crystal Palace. So it was a strong Crystal Palace team that we saw, and Robertson did pick up a lot of good positions in the game. He was getting in the box, he was crossing, he was taking shots. So his stats look great. I still have no plans to take him out, and I still stick to the fact that he will be the better option in the first 8 game weeks than Diaz. So I stick to the point that I say in game week 1. Currently, no plans to sell him, but throughout the next few game weeks, we could observe his situation and maybe look to take money out of him. Next, we have João Cancelo. Again, City's defense really good. I think they could go on and cap a clean sheet against Newcastle. This is their, you could say, real test, because Newcastle also the only second team, them and City, who haven't conceded a goal this season. So a tougher game than the first two. But throughout the first few game weeks, City did look really good. They did dominate each game and had possession most of the game. So I expect City to go on and win. Newcastle, a very poor team, not the poorest team, but a very weak team going up front. They don't score a lot of goals, but the defense is quite strong. So we could get a clean sheet, and of course City are one of the best teams in the league. So we expect City to get a clean sheet, a win out of this, but it's just to see how many they can get past Newcastle. Of course, Newcastle are a very strong team, and I don't expect much for João Cancelo, but maybe a clean sheet and attacking return would be nice. So if Man City did concede in this game, we also have the potential to see João Cancelo getting his attacking returns as well. So no plans to sell him as well. He's a great option, and probably will keep him until my first wildcard, unless an injury. Next is Reece James. He plays Leeds away, and this is a great fixture for me. Leeds a poor defense but a good attacking side, so it really is a good call, because Chelsea a good defense, and if Reece James start as right wing back, we could see Chelsea and Reece James get a lot of goods out of this game, because Reece James, if he's starting at right wing back, he will get the attacking return. It's almost a guarantee, because he will be so attacking, he will be that advanced above the pitch, and it's technically he's playing like a right winger, because if you're playing in a Chelsea's system where it involves fullbacks, we did see in the previous years Marcus Alonso, Victor Moses, these players like these will perform in these the fullback systems, and Reece James is technically a right winger but listed as a defender, so massively underpriced in my opinion. He's a great option, great value for money. His stats look brilliant and one of the better ones in his price point, around his price point. So Leeds a poor defense, a good team to target, and I fully expect James to get something off this game. And lastly, Ivan Perisic. I will talk about my transfer plans later on the video, but currently he sits in my team. Wolves are at home. He has a great chance of starting, but Conte did come out and say during the press conference something that negatively impacts Perisic owners, because we could see him not starting this game and maybe start further games. So currently isn't looking likely Perisic will start this game against Wolves, but anything could happen, and I plan to take him out of my team. He's dropped in price in the past few days. His ownership has dropped, but of course he could punish me if he starts 90 minutes. I guarantee you not, he will get an attacking return. He got a few minutes against Chelsea and he already got an assist. So if you give this man 90 minutes, we don't know what to expect from him. So it's really tough decisions with my transfer. I'll talk more about that later. Let's move on to the midfield. Starting off with Mohamed Salah, it's Mo Salah against Man United. I think he will be the best captaincy again this week, because last year, if you guys remember, around game week 8 or 7, where United played Liverpool at Old Trafford, Liverpool did go on and win 4-0. Mo Salah was involved in all those goals, so we could see something similar, a poorly United team, very weak mentality in the United dressing room, and again, United are planning a protest, and if United do go down early on in the game, I fully expected Liverpool to punish them, because the players will know, the fans will be behind their backs, and Liverpool could massively punish. They will need a result against this game. They can't go on and lose or draw their first 3 games. They will want to win, and I think this Liverpool team will go and win. Mo Salah, nothing much to say about him. He's the best option. His stats look great again this season. A slow start for him, but if he picks up form, he could be a brilliant option. Next is Gabriel Martinelli. Again, for 6.3 million, you are getting a player who's had a lot of potential to punish players managers who don't have him. playing against Bournemouth away, a great fixture to target for me. For Arsenal, Arsenal going to the season with 2 wins. They scored 6 goals in their first 2 games. I expect more from them. I expect a lot more from them in this game against Bournemouth, a weak opposition. Playing Bournemouth, their manager, Bournemouth manager, did come out and say they are still not ready. They need more signings. So, look, Martinelli against a weak Bournemouth side. They did lose 4-0 to Man City. Who knows what could come? We could see Arsenal beat them 5-2 or 4-0. So, a very high ceiling for Martinelli this week, and I fully expect a lot from him, especially with that great fixture. And lastly, Pedro Neto, a player I look to sell in the upcoming weeks, if not this week. Playing Tottenham away, Tottenham are a solid defense, very solid defense. Wolves are you could say their defense is slightly weakened, but their attack, they have brought in new players. Morgan Gibbs-White did leave the club earlier today, and you could say that weakens the attack. But of course, Neto with their new signings, it could be new signings coming in. We could see Neto as a potential rotation risk if Jimenez comes back, and the new signings, we could see Neto drop down to the bench and get his minutes reduced. So a player I'm looking to sell as well in the upcoming weeks, if not this week. I'll talk more about that later. Let's jump into our forwards. So starting off with Erling Haaland, Newcastle away. It's a strong defense, Newcastle, but of course, we could see they are playing the best team in the league, Manchester City. Erling Haaland, who is pumped up, who's just got a redemption against Bournemouth. He didn't play the greatest, and we could see Erling Haaland massively punish Newcastle, as he is one of the best attackers in the league, one of the best finishers in the league. And Man City, the best team in the league, they will go on and win this game because every game for them is a must win, and I see them winning this game as well. So Newcastle away, a solid defense, but of course we could see they're playing the best attack in the league, arguably the best attack, Manchester City. Erling Haaland, if Man City score first, we could see Newcastle come out and play, and then we could see more goals come from Man City. So currently, no plans to sell him. His price just went up as well. That just shows how good of an FPL option he is, and for 11.7 billion, he's a great option. His stats, brilliant, on another level. I really would like Erling Haaland. No plans to switch to Kane for now, but if the injury comes, we could look forward to that option. And to finish off, Gabriel Jesus, Bournemouth away. Look, if he can do it against Leicester, get 2 goals and 2 assists, who says he can't do it against Bournemouth? Of course, if Bournemouth defends well and throughout the game, they haven't conceded around 60-minute mark, we could see Arsenal struggle to break through that Bournemouth team. But if they get their early goal, and if Arsenal score first, we could see a lot of goals come from this game. Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus, his stats on another level, just way better stats than players around his price. Of course, with Ivan Toney around his price, Ollie Watkins, Mikel Antonio, Callum Wilson, Havertz, their stats is not as good as compared to Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus, his stats are similar to Jamie Vardy. So again, that just shows how good of an option he is, and for his price point, it's a no-brainer to keep him in. Moving on to my bench, I have Ward. No plans to start him. It's a great fixture, but I just don't trust the Leicester defense. We could see Ward drop to the bench and Iverson start for this game as his poor performances as well. We could see Leicester go on and sign a new starting keeper, So no plans to start him. We have Aaron Ramsdale. He's a good bench option if worst case scenario happens. Next is Liam Bailey, another player I look to sell in the upcoming weeks, but for now he sits on my bench. I think there is more fires to put out around my team. There's more players I look to sell than Liam Bailey because he's that cheap. No much players around his points, and if I want to upgrade him, I will have to find money elsewhere. Next, Andreas Pereira. He plays Brentford, a great fixture, but he sits on my bench. He is yellow flagged in the FPL website. It says that he's knocked, but we will have to wait for a press conference to confirm that news. So for now, he sits second on my bench. A great player to start as well, but still, I have better players to start around him, and with my transfer coming in, I look to upgrade my team as well. And lastly, Archer, he's gonna stay third on my bench throughout the season, and he's not gonna get a place in my team, but of course a great backup to have as well. Now moving on to my transfer plans, I am looking to bring in Pascal Gross and Cucurella and take out Pedro Neto and Perisic. Now, two players I'm really happy to bring in, Cucurella and Pascal Gross. Great options in my opinion. Perisic and Neto, he plays Tottenham away this game. I could look to hold on to him because there is really good fixtures around the period of game week 4 to 6, but after that their fixtures just go downhill. So I look to sell him, avoid the price drop, because it looks, by the looks of things, he will drop in price. Perisic, look, another player, he could massively punish me if I sell him, because if he gets 90 minutes against Wolves, even 70 minutes, he will get the chance to punish us Perisic owners. And if I look to sell him, because Conte did come out in the press conference and say some really not so good things about Perisic, that not really positive about him starting this weekend. So by the looks of things, Perisic won't be starting this week, but of course anything could happen, and it is football. So Pascal Gross, his data is so good, his underlying data is way better than Martinelli, but of course you could say it is only in the 2 game week sample size. It's a small period and anything could happen. I agree with that, and it's around game week 5 to 6 where we get the actual data and to show which players are buys and which players we look to sell. But for now, Pascal Gross, Brighton has a brilliant fixtures looking ahead. This week they play West Ham away, but after that they have Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, all weak defenses and definitely a run to target. And then Cucurella, Leeds away this week. By the looks of things, Tuchel did come out and say that Cucurella will be starting, because Chilwell, he did play with under 21s in the past few days and his fitness level isn't that great. So of course Tuchel did say that Chilwell's fitness levels isn't that good. So I think Cucurella will start the next 2 to 3 weeks, game weeks, and for a poor Leeds defense, a great fixture to target as well. So this will be how my team lines up. We have Pascal Gross against West Ham, Cucurella against Leeds. For me, it's a good team, and I really like this team, and I have 0.3 in the bank, two free transfer use. Definitely an upgrade to my previous players. So currently, this my team sits. Captaincy, Mo Salah has the armband, no questions. Vice captain on Gabriel Jesus. Of course, these transfers are not locked in. Please take note. And it's been me, JSFPL, and I'll see you guys in the next one.